I love it. Opposites attract. So we have a zookeeper who raises flamingos. Like, it just looks so warm and cozy, and I'm curious to see if the author is able to flip me over and change my mind on that. Hello everyone, and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. Thank you so much if you've clicked on this video. My biggest goal going into 2026 is that I really did want to share more like book and lifestyle content on the internet. I love reading so much. I love sharing my everyday life, and I thought, what a better way to do it than just start a little booktube / lifestyle channel to talk about all the books that I want to talk about, and also just my little cozy life up here in Canada. Books are something that I am super passionate about, and I love reading. I love collecting books. I love just hanging out in bookish world. And today particularly, I knew I wanted to sit down and film this first video because it is freezing outside. It's actually freezing raining. I'm really hoping it's not really picking up on camera, but if you hear a little sprinkle, that's exactly what it is. But it's just a cold, gross day, and I wanted to cozy up and talk to you all about cozy reading books. It's the day after Christmas today. Today's December 26th, and I'm just really excited. So I guess just going over my reading journey a little bit before we get started very briefly. Every year I usually read about 60 books, so I feel like I average a little bit more than one book a week, just because I do work a full-time job, and I have a lot going on generally in my life. I'm also mainly a romance reader or romantasy. If a book does not have romance in it, I probably won't pick it up, to be completely honest. I love those types of books. They're my absolute favorite of all time. And that is definitely where I tend to gravitate to. So I thought it would be kind of fun to start out with the 26 romance or romantasy books that I am looking forward to reading in 2026, or that come out in 2026. I do have a little folder on my Goodreads. That being said, I don't really use Goodreads anymore. I'm definitely a Fable girly through and through. I'll have Fable and Goodreads and all that link below if you do want to go check them out and follow me on there. But I did create a little folder on Goodreads with my most anticipated book releases of 2026, and I came up with 26 of them. 26 books in 2026. I thought was very, poetic. And like I said, these are all romance and romantasy books, which is super fun. I need to go let the cat out of the room because he is complaining. 1 second. I thought the best way to sort this, because these are all romance or romantasy books, would be to sort it by release date. So that is kind of what I have here, and I wanted to dive into, of course, January 1st. Obviously. That being said, my January books do cheat a little bit. I promise all the other months are very legit, but for January, 2 of my books here release on December 30th. That being said, I'm like, is that really cheating? Because technically, like, the first week of January, it just comes out 2 days earlier, and honestly, after Christmas, to me, 2025 is over. It's done. So there are 2 books on here that come out on December 30th. So we will start with those. And the one I'm most excited for is kind of cheating within cheating. I'm so sorry. None of the other ones are like that. We're just not starting out the most strong. But it is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. This is the same author that wrote To When the Moon Hatched, I believe it was called. And this is actually a re-release. This book has been out for a while. I believe it was released in like 2019 or something the first time. But Indigo is coming out with a special edition on December 30th, and it's a new to me book. Like, I'd never read this book before. I didn't even know it existed, and the main reason I wanted to pick it up is because it's actually a Rapunzel retelling in a dark romance format. I'm not usually a dark romance person, but Rapunzel and Tangled is my favorite Disney movie of all time, and I am quite a Disney nerd, so I knew I absolutely had to pick this up. When I saw it, the cover is gorgeous, the sprayed edges, like, everything about it is just so pretty, and it comes out on December 30th. We then also on December 30th have the 4th book to the When in Rome series. I haven't read all the books in the series, but I have read a few of them, and the 4th book looks honestly really, really good. Just reading it, these are, like, you can read them as a series or you can also read them standalone, so it's not a huge deal. It's like a brother's best friend trope. This girl moves to this small town, gets a job as a chef, and her owner, who is a grumpy man, grumpy to sunshine for sure, he owns the restaurant. Yeah, let the world ensue. So we have brother's best friend, kind of enemies to lovers-ish. We have grumpy sunshine, just all the different little tropes that I love so, so much. Now going into actual 2026 releases. On January 13th, 2026, we have The Lust Crusade. This is by Joe Segura. So this is the Raiders of the Lost Heart series. I read the first two books both when they came out, like first book 2 years ago, second book 1 year ago, and this is the third book in the series, and I love this series so much. I think there's some really, really unique takes on a romance book in this series. Like, yes, it has all the classic tropes, but the actual adventure that all these characters go through, I think, is really unique and not something I've really found in other books. Like, they're literally archaeologists out in the Amazon or wherever archaeologists go and do digs. So the scenery and the, like, fictional history you get behind these dig sites and that too, I just think is a really, really cool, unique take. Like, they're not just going to a small town. They're not just in a workplace. Like, there's actually some very different scenarios happening here with those classic tropes that we all know and love. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't read the first two books in this series, I would recommend them first, because I know with the second book at least there was some crossover where you had some of the characters coming back, so it was like you could recognize those guest appearances. So I would recommend reading those first so you can do that. We then have a killer kind of romance. I'm just gonna read the little one-sentence synopsis here on Goodreads because I feel like that's the best way to describe what this is. A crime podcast host must solve a chilling serial killer case while navigating an unexpected romance with her mysterious next-door neighbor. I mean, that sounds so fun. I've been a huge fan this last year of Only Murders in the Building. I've loved watching it, and since then I'm like, crime podcast? Tell me about the crime, like, let me know about the crime podcast. I love the crime podcasts. I don't listen to many of them, but I love the idea of it. And I think the idea of that in a little romance book will be super fun. And this one also actually comes out on January 13th. The Magic of Untamed Hearts. I'm not gonna lie to you, the thing that spoke to me the most about this right off the bat was the cover. Like, it just looks so warm and cozy and perfect for January. The Magic of Untamed Hearts, like the little animals on the cover, also comes out January 13th. This is the third book in this series. This is the Wild Magic series. I need to do my research and figure out if these are standalones or if I can just or if I have to read the whole series, because I have not read the first two. This is my first time ever hearing. This is a new to me author, so I need to figure out if I can just go ahead and read this or if I need to read the other two first. After several years stuck as a ghost, Sky Flores learns to reconnect with the living again with the help of her handsome neighbor in this lush romance. I feel like a killer kind of romance is also very similar. Like, we just had the neighbors romance thing, but I like the kind of little mystical, magical elements to this. Next up, we have a book by Megan Quinn, and I was surprised I hadn't heard anyone talk about this because I feel like Megan Quinn books are so hyped up. I've read a few of them and I've liked them. I feel like Megan Quinn is so good at the summertime romance books. Like, she is a very classic, I want to read this on the beach in warm weather kind of author, a very lighthearted romance author. And on February 3rd, so we are in February now, we have Just for the Cameras coming out. And this is a fake dating trope. They're faking it for the cameras, but what if the sparks are real? Graydon St. John doesn't do drama or public appearances. The broadening defense end for the San Francisco Foghorns prefer silence, solitude, and avoiding headlines. But when a league-wide PR scandal forces him into a media stunt at the city zoo, he's suddenly face to face with squawking birds, nosy fans, and the zookeeper who seems to hate his guts on sight. Maple Baker loves her flamingos. Loud, pink, messy, sure, but they're hers. And the last thing she needs is a grumpy football player stomping into her sanctuary with a bad attitude and a bigger ego. So we have a zookeeper who raises flamingos and a football player. fake dating. It sounds so good. Really excited for this one. Next up in February, we have a new Ali Hazelwood book. And this book was actually an audiobook first. It's a novella. It's called Two Can Play, and it comes out February 10th, finally in paperback. This, like I said, is an audiobook. And it has been out as an audiobook for a little while, but it has not been in print. And I am not someone who reads a lot of audiobooks. I have nothing against them. I just simply lose my track of thought. I find myself daydreaming and I can't remember what's going on. I can't concentrate to them. The only time I really read audiobooks is when I am reading the paper and have it listening at the same time. So I am not a huge audiobook fan. So I have not read this, and I think a lot of people have also missed reading this because it was only an audiobook release. Weirdly enough, this is the only Ali Hazelwood release on our radar for this year. And I love Ali Hazelwood so much, and I know that we can't expect these like back-to-back-to-back releases from a lot of authors. Like, they need a break, and also they need to just like take a breath so that they can produce good content, because quality over quantity is better for sure when it comes to books. But we don't have any Ali Hazelwood releases, and I feel like she just keeps pumping them out. So I'm really excited to see if she's going to announce anything else this year or what else potentially is to come. Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter. I mean, it's magic. It's cats. Need I say more? It is based in 1920s Montreal, based in Canada. It's a historical fiction book. There is a little bit of romance. There are cats. The male lead is a magician and failed dark lord. I don't know what to expect from this book, but I think whatever I expect, I'm just going to eat up. Like, I'm just going to devour this, even though I have no idea what to expect. And this one comes out February 17th. Another very anticipated release in February that I know a lot of people are very excited for is And Now Back to You. This is by B.K. Borison, and B.K. Borison is a amazing author and writes some of the coziest books I have ever read. Love Light Farms is one of my favorite Christmas books, and First Time Caller is the first book in the series. This is the Heartstrings series. First Time Caller is the first book, and let me tell you, I've read this so fast. I was obsessed. A very like opposites attract romance. It says two competing meteorologists are forced to find common ground. While Jackson thrives on routine and organization from the comfort of his radio booth, Delilah loves the spontaneity and adventure out in the field. When they're partnered against their will to cover the snowstorm of the century, they find themselves scrambling to figure out how to work together. I might read this before February because I actually was given a ebook arc of it for my Kindle from NetGalley, and snowstorm, like, if there is a snowstorm, I think I need to bring this book during it, and I live in Canada. There will be a snowstorm. So this might be a good January read, but also, I mean, we get snow in February too, so we'll see. I am surprised this one is coming out a little bit later in the season. I definitely think it would have been a better January release because it is based around a snowstorm. But that being said, I think no matter when anyone reads this, it is going to hit so hard. I'm genuinely so excited to get into this one. Just Friends by Haley Pham. Now, Haley Pham is a booktuber, of course, as we know, and she wrote a book, and I think that's really, really cool. I think there's been a lot of backlash, and I think she is... Obviously, this book is going to be a pretty quick bestseller because of her fan base and people that watch her and people that want to read it. I just think she's going to be under a lot of scrutiny for this book, and we can get into that more when we start reading it, March 3rd, but I want to see what she has been able to write. She's someone who's obviously read a lot of romance books, so to be able to write one is a huge, huge accomplishment, and I think that deserves to be celebrated. I don't know what this is about, and frankly, I don't think I want to, which is why I'm not reading the synopsis. I think I'm just going to pick it up and go in blind and see what we find. Lucy Score has a new book coming out on March 10th, and it is called Mistakes Were Made. Lucy Score is one of my favorite authors of all time. She wrote my favorite series of all time, which is The Things We Never Got Over. I love the Knock 'Em Out series so much. I reread that series quite frequently, to be honest. It's so good, and I know it had its like day in book talk way back when, but I think people have just forgotten about it, and it needs to be brought back to the light. Lucy Score has come up with another series. This is the Story Lake series. So this is the second book in the series, called Mistakes Were Made. I think the cover's so cute. It has a little mirror ball on the front. And one thing I love about Lucy Score books is that they always have pages and pages to them. They are some of the thickest books that I read every year, and I love that because I do zoom through books on a fairly quick basis. I love when they have a lot of content to them. So this says he's looking for the perfect wife. She's looking for the perfect one-night stand. Literary agent Zoe Moody doesn't like small town life, but here she is. Exiled from Manhattan's publishing scene and trapped in a tiny Pennsylvania town with her BFF and only remaining client, Hazel. The problem? She's totally broke. All she needs is for Hazel's next romance novel to become a gigantic hit, and Zoe will be back in New York. Nothing will stand in her way. Nothing except her 6'2" landlord, Gage Bishop. He's smart, serious, and sexy. Worst of all, he's ready to settle down. Zoe might be the most beautiful woman Gage has ever met, but it's clear they're all wrong for each other. I love it. Opposites attract. Anything that's like Grumpy Sunshine, opposites attract, enemies to lovers, that's my alley. And we love a Lucy Score book too. Toe to Toe is by Fallon Ballard. Fallon Ballard is a very underrated author. I don't think she gets a lot of credit for how good her books really are, and I think she deserves to be a much more celebrated author this year. Every book from her I see is an insta-buy. Truly. I see it and I'm like, they're just good. I just love them. I love her main characters. So this book comes out March 10th as well. It says, it takes two to tango. Allegra Hart has been working her whole life to achieve one goal, become a principal ballerina. When her director starts holding auditions for the lead role in the company's latest production, Allegra sees this as her chance. Maybe her last chance. The catch? The director wants someone with sex appeal, and he doesn't think she's up for the task. Determined to prove him wrong, Allegra enlists the help of the lead dancer of an all-male revue, Cord Donovan. So obviously he is going to help her learn how to be what the director wants for this show, and the romance novel will ensue. Abby Jimenez, of course, has another new release this year, and this is going to be called The Night We Met. The cover looks gorgeous. So Abby Jimenez is another one of my favorite authors, and I feel like many people's favorite authors. Part of Your World and Just for the Summer were just absolutely stunning, wonderful reads. Say You'll Remember Me was not my favorite book of hers by any means, but it will not stop me from picking up every Abby Jimenez book that she writes. This one is the second book in the Say You'll Remember Me duology, I think is what it's going to be. And I will say, I don't necessarily expect this to be 5 stars because Say You'll Remember Me was not my favorite, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a good read. Not every book has to be a 5-star going into it, and it could be. It could absolutely surprise me. Or I was going to say us all, but maybe you think it's going to be amazing already. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to dive into it. We then have We're a Bad Idea, right? By K.L. Walther. And let me tell you, this one, I saw the cover and the sprayed edges and knew I had to read it. I have a very unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people are tired of sprayed edges. I say no. I say put them on all the books. If you don't want to have a sprayed edge, then you can put, you get to decide which way it faces on your bookshelf, or get the Kindle copy. I love a sprayed edge, especially on a paperback. This says, the business of love gets messy when two best friends decide to fake a romantic relationship in this uproarious and swooning novel by the best-selling author. Audrey Barber has had enough of following the rules. 18 years of being the perfect daughter, exceptional grades, inevitable college acceptances, tame dating history, and still her parents don't trust her enough to let her study her passion, glass-blowing, on a prestigious fellowship. So when her best friend Henry proposes an outrageous fake dating scheme to win back his ex-girlfriend, it feels like the first step to shaking up her perfect life. And the second, that comes when Audrey's parents go out of town, sparking a high-risk, high-reward solution to pay for her fellowship, renting out her family's Connecticut mansion online. This sounds like a YA book for sure, but that is totally fine. I love reading YA books too. A very picture-perfect girl goes wild, I guess you could say, because she wants to study glass blowing. I think that's really unique. I think I don't know what career options lie for that, so I definitely understand her parents' perspective already, but there's also the fake dating trope, which I think will be interesting to see how that plays into it. And I think obviously if we're looking at it, the fake dating trope is going to turn real and he's not going to get his ex-girlfriend back, but we will see what happens. Carly Fortune is coming out with another book this year. This book comes out on May 5th. We love Carly Fortune. There's nothing I don't love about Carly Fortune. Her books there were only 2 authors that gave me 5-star books in 2025, and it was her and Fourth Wing. So One Golden Summer was one of the best books I've ever read, and knowing that it takes place in Canada makes my heart so happy because it's almost a very relatable thing. Like, I don't have a cottage on the lake, but I've seen them, I've been to them, I've been to the Great Lakes that she talks about in her books. Like, I've been to those beaches, so it's really, really neat and cool to see how these stories develop and also have that relatability element. I love supporting Canadian authors. I love Carly Fortune. She hits it the nail on the head every single time. Every single book of hers that I've read has been perfect. So I'm just super excited for this. The Daisy Chain Flower Shop. So this is the Dream Harbor book number 6. I just finished The Gingerbread Bakery and I loved it. I will say these books are another series that's never been 5 stars for me, but they're just good, relaxing, cozy, easy, simple romance reads. So this one comes out on May 5th as well. I will say I don't know how much more of this series I'm going to continue after this. I definitely think The Gingerbread Bakery maybe should have been the last one in the series because it kind of summed up those characters. And I feel like the way that character, the Daisy, was introduced in The Gingerbread Bakery was very rushed and obviously for convenience. Like, it felt like, you know, when they make a movie and there's just one end scene where you're like, oh, well, obviously there's going to be a sequel. That's what it felt like when they were introducing Daisy in The Gingerbread Bakery. I felt like it took away from the Gingerbread Bakery story and was very forced. So I don't know how I feel about this, and I feel like the series does maybe need to come to a natural end shortly. That being said, will I pick up this book? Yes, I will, because I think this will be a perfect spring read. First and Forever by Lynn Painter. I mean, I saw this and I was like, oh, Chiefs, when I saw this cover. That's not what it is, but that is what that was my first thought. Another YA author, and this says, a football star and a diehard fan entangled in a PR stunt that only one side knows is fake might be the right play in this new romantic comedy. I think this book is either going to be good or be terrible, because the concept of a fake dating trope where only one person knows it's fake, that takes a terrible human to do that. So I would love to see how Lynn Painter, how the author justifies this and how it plays out. This could be either a really good book, it could be mid, or this has the chance to be a DNF. If I get into it and I'm really, really hating whoever's team decided to come up with this fake dating one-sided thing, I do not think I can keep reading if I really dislike it, but I definitely think it is worth a shot to see, because I think that is an interesting plot in itself, and I don't understand. I think the draw for it to me is I don't understand how it can be played out correctly. I don't. And I'm curious to see if the author is able to flip me over and change my mind on that. The Shippers by Catherine Center. This comes out May 19th. Catherine Center obviously has been very big for her rom-coms recently. This book follows a destination wedding on a cruise ship. I love vacation books. Any book where the characters are on a vacation, I eat that up. I love it so much. So I'm just excited to see where this one goes. I honestly don't know a lot about it. I think thing with me is I really do judge a book by its cover and by what other people are saying about it. I'm heavily influenced by what the internet is saying about books. I'm like, oh, I've heard of that one, so it must be good. Let me pick it up. I'd say probably with 75% of the books that I pick up, I go into blind without reading the back cover. which is a wild thing, I think, to say, but honestly, the truth as to how it goes. We then have The Ballad of Falling Dragons, and this comes out May 19th. Another book by Sarah A. Parker. This is the second book in the Moonfall series. I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 or what, but I'm really excited to see where this series goes. I think there's a lot of very deep world building fantasy in this series, so I'm just very excited to see where the second book takes us. Elsie Silver is coming out with a new book for the start of a new series this year. This book is called Fever Dream. I know Elsie Silver is in a little bit of heat in the media right now, so I am a little bit torn whether I want to pick this one up, but just looking at it from a book standpoint, this does seem like a really good read to me. It is small town, forbidden romance, rivals to lovers. It is a Western romance series. Everything about it sounds so perfect and right up my alley. So we'll see if I end up picking this one up or not, but I did want to note it on the list because had all that drama not recently come out, this would be such an insta-buy for me. Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. Annabelle Monaghan is an author for me that I have very mixed opinions on. So It's a Love Story was a really, really good book. However, Nora Goes Off Script and Summer Romance. Same Time Next Summer was good. Summer Romance and Nora Goes Off Script were terrible. Summer Romance particularly was so bad, but It's a Love Story brought my attention right back up. So I'm kind of hoping that this author maybe has improved as her work has been published and got feedback and all that kind of stuff, which we love to see improvements and people learning. And we'll see if this book ends up being any good. Another perfect summertime read, and this one comes out May 26th. Honestly, the perfect time to get books ready for summer vacation. And I say summer vacation as if I'm going on any summer vacation and won't be working all summer. It's a romance about a single mother who's offered a pretty woman type deal that's too good to refuse. If they begin by pretending, can they end with something real? Dolly Brick has never met a problem she couldn't solve. Not when her mom left when she was 12, not at 39 when she moves with her son back to Whitfield, Rhode Island for the summer to keep her dad and brother from losing the family home. So when she comes across Stuart Whitfield, annoyingly handsome scion of the Whitfield family with a flat tire and the wrong end of a very public and humiliating breakup, it's in her nature to help. But Stuart's proposed arrangement ends up being more than either of them bargained for, because as public dinners and high society benefits turn into sunset boat rides and swinging on the porch, Dolly starts feeling something more than helpful. She's never relied on anyone besides herself. Can she really start now? It sounds like it could be a very, very sweet love story. Kayla Olson, another one of my favorite authors. She is coming out with a book this summer on June 16th called The Great Outdoors. This cover is so perfect. The colors on this have me drawn to it. The pinks mixed with the greens are just stunning. I love it. A high maintenance woman who embarks on a wilderness trek to prove to her ex how low maintenance she can be, only to find herself with no makeup and an extremely attractive trek leader. Sadie Whitlock has always been praised for being the most prepared person in the room, the one who's thought of everything and every backup plan for any given situation. She knows exactly what she wants, exactly what she loves, and goes to great lengths to make sure her life runs perfectly as planned. So when her laid-back boyfriend breaks up with her for being too high maintenance, Sadie is eager to prove him wrong and signs herself up for a weeks-long guided wilderness adventure in the high Sierras of camping, hiking, rappelling, and kayaking. It's the most miserable and uncomfortable situation she can think of. I relate to this. As a type A person who would not do good trekking in the outdoors, I relate to this. Would I go on a wilderness trek because someone broke up with me and told me I was too high maintenance? No, I accept the fact that I am high maintenance. However, I relate to the inability part of it when it comes to the wilderness, and I think that is something I will enjoy. 4 books left. We have Romantic Hero by Christy Greenwood. This comes out June 16th. A heartbroken romance novelist is forced to address her writer's block when the villainous cowboy character from her books shows up in the real world, desperately in need of his own happily ever after. A fun little magical element to it. I think this might actually end up being more of like a fall read to me. I don't know if I'll read it right when it comes out. It sounds like it could be a really good like August-September transition novel, but I have never read anything by this author before, and it looks like it could just be a good, fun little book. Lana Ferguson has the final score coming out. This is coming out July 7th. It is a hockey romance, which I thought it was a little odd to come out in the summertime. I love Lana Ferguson so much, and I'm kind of hoping, I've got some of her arcs for books before, so I'm kind of hoping I can get this one as well, and then we can read it earlier, because I just don't see myself reading a hockey romance in the summer. Lana Ferguson is another one of the authors that I think is really, really underrated. The Nanny, Overruled, Under Lock and Key, that was another good one. She has a ton of really, really good romance books that I have had the pleasure of reading. She is an insta-buy author for me, regardless of what the book is about. I truly don't think I'm going to end up reading it in July when it comes out. I think it will definitely be a winter read for me or fall read for me in some capacity. Christina Lauren just announced that they are coming out with a new romance novel in 2026. Christina Lauren is one of the authors that I recently really got into. I had never really read before this year, but In a Holidays is a book I just read. They're just Christmas book that was really good. Tangled Up in You was another really good little like Disney spin-off book. I have a couple of their books on my TBR, and as an author duo, they are just one of the best, if not the best author duo I have read. I think writing a book as a duo is a really daunting task, and to come out with something so good from that is, I think, honestly really rare. So I love that idea, and their book is called The Romance Rival. It comes out July 14th and does look like a summer romance that I'm really excited for. And the final 26th book is a book that is coming out in September 15th. BK Borison is coming out with Grim Tidings. The cover for this is not even announced yet, and it will be out September 15th, the second book in the Ghosted series. Obviously, Good Spirits took off this year. It was like, I feel like that was the Christmas book of the year that everyone was reading. I'm loving BK Borison. I know that I just have to check this one out as well. Who knows if it will be the Christmas book of 2026, but we will definitely soon find out. And those are the 26 books that I know of right now that I am the most excited for in 2026. That being said, I feel like authors don't really come out with books until like 6 months in advance. Like they're not announcing it until they're pretty much ready to publish it. So we don't really get those dates that far in advance. So I know for sure there's probably going to be some more summer releases we're excited for, and definitely some fall and winter releases that we are going to be excited for too. But anyway, those are the romance and romantasy books that I am the most excited for that we know about right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, definitely check out my channel and subscribe. We've just started this little bookish lifestyle channel, and I'm really, really excited to be able to share all my bookish thoughts with you, share some lifestyle vlog about my cozy little life here in Canada, and I just can't wait for you all to follow along. So thank you again so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.